How's it going, everybody? It's your old pal Joe, and I'm here. Well, it's SPX 2024 as well.
Yeah, just so you know.
I got this weird intro. I just did it the last two videos. I don't care for it.
It's all right.
I don't like doing that, but it also feels nice, and I don't know what to do with that. I'll think about it.
Just live
anyway,
with it.
Who am I here with?
Oh, I'm Rusty, I guess. You know, yeah, I'm Rusty.
Yeah, you're still Rusty regardless of what we're doing.
Yes.
And together, we are here
Joining
with...
us.
My name is Ria Garcia.
Welcome,
Ria.
Thank you.
I just noticed the way you said it, that your name has a nice rhyming to it.
Yes.
And that's very satisfying.
Awesome. Also, my middle name is the same as my first name, just reversed.
Whoa.
Did
I like
you do that on purpose?
Yeah, I did that one on purpose.
That's smart.
That's pretty amazing.
It's also my favorite of the four elements.
Okay. Well, you know, it
Nice.
is. I guess it is one of the two that we really need
Yeah.
the most.
I mean, we kind of need all of them, right?
I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
Some
I
of them
wasn't
can, like,
thinking.
I
Like
don't
if you don't have the Earth, where are you?
I did. You know, I said
Yeah.
it without thinking as much as I should have. I was like, we all need air. We also need water. I'm just going to
Yeah.
stop thinking about
I mean,
it.
you might
Yeah,
not
you're
need fire, I guess. Like probably like ancient humans before people discovered. Were they
Sure.
actually? Wait, did they discover fire before humans or after?
Yeah, I guess fire existed before.
I mean, the concept.
lightning
whether it
hit
actually-
trees and
oh,
stuff.
that's a good
you know,
point.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I can see that.
Obviously, more important matters than the elements that keep us alive. Tell us about your comic work that
Yes.
we have
Oh
here.
yeah. So this is my comic. It's a little hard to read because I took out all the vowels of the title, but it is pronounced Hot Trans Bitch City.
Okay.
Nice.
And the idea behind it is that you can look at it one way, and then as you look at it, you turn it 180 degrees, and you see a new picture. And they're kind of hellish cityscape type things, but a lot of it is in regard to representing sort of the disorientation of transitioning in society, and just sort of the scary nature of it, I guess.
There's
What
a
is
lot
it?
of detail in these spreads, too.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
know.
Yeah.
impressive.
When you first came out and you were talking about the idea, not the idea behind the book, but the fact that the book can be seen in multiple perspectives. And it's really interesting that you're describing it as kind of like in concert with being trans, because your world still exists, but it is in a way kind of flipped upside down. Like,
Yeah.
but there's still a world there to be had. It's just maybe completely
It's
different.
just so much better now.
That's true.
Yeah.
That part is, yes.
This one, they're still scary when you flip it.
So, now is this one of your first works? Have you been making comics for a long time?
I've been making comics. Like I made my first zine in, let me think, 1995.
Wow.
Wow, that's quite a while.
It is. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
That's longer than this show has existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right about as long as the show's existed.
Okay, look, if I'm going to
For
say
us.
something off the cuff and be wrong,
I don't want to fact check you. All right,
I mean,
but here
come
we are.
on, man. Like, we don't know when they published
Who's
it.
to say?
It could have been in March.
Yes. But anyway, yes. So a long time. That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's
and
the key.
I drew all of these drawings, everything from the conception to the finish of the book between June and the night before last.
Wow.
So this is a very contemporary
fresh.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I stapled it all the night before last.
Nice.
So you wanted to have it ready in time for the show, obviously.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What made you want to make this specific book or represent your art in this manner?
I had debuted a comic last year called Dark Piss, and it was a satire. So it was an abstract comic, but it also had words in it, unlike this one. And the words are essentially all of these trans women get locked in a public bathroom, and they're just describing these like really awful, horrible things that are happening to them, but they're all just sort of like, they're basically just grateful that it's not worse, even though everything they're describing is the worst. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought it was pretty funny, but
What you said, though, in this moment, without the context of the book, that's heartbreaking. What you're saying is breaking my heart.
right. So the book itself is supposed to, satire, so it's supposed to be funny, but the things are terrible in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the theme is like comedy, I guess, or whatever. This one, the theme is really more horror, and I did write a bunch of stuff for it, and I did a lot of research on, actual trans people who have been hurt by society or been killed, really. Yeah. And as I was doing that, I just found that, I couldn't I couldn't include the writing. Like I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
It was just too much. It's
it
hard.
was too much. It was like it was coming together in a way that I didn't feel. I felt like it was just so much more powerful with just the drawings.
Yes.
You know.
And it also that also leaves it more open for interpretation. And
kind of like gender.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
sure.
you can look at it from your unique, anybody's unique perspective, and help connect with it on whatever level you do.
Yeah.
That's great.
What strikes me about the idea of it being so tinged with horror and kind of oppressiveness and a lot of dark, and also being kind of abstract and sort of vague at times, is you don't really give anybody an easy handhold in order to get through it. They're just looking at maybe these very dark, kind of intimidating images, and you're not really giving them any advantage over processing the page-to-page process. You're really asking a lot there.
I am asking a lot for sure. It's definitely I mean, it's an abstract comic, you know what I mean?
For sure,
It's a very niche market.
But it's funny that you retracted the words because you were like, I don't know, it's too heavy, it's too hard. But then you're still like, in a way, you've still left it in there, just in a different avenue.
Yeah, it still made it pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive, and it's not an easy thing to do, to put yourself out there with something that might be hard for some folks to penetrate. I'm sure some people immediately identify with the feelings that it evokes and things like that.
Yeah, and especially if they know the context of it, you know what I mean? If someone just saw without the context, it might hit different, but if I had included the words, I felt like it would have almost been like the stuff that I was trying to make. I felt like it was more respectful to the dead, to people who had actually come before, to just include it just like this,
That's really good.
And you really got to satisfy yourself beyond all else. If this is the best way for you to make this work, then you didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. It would have been a completely different product outside of that, but this is what you wanted to make.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna do more stuff like this in the future. The reversibility aspect of it.
Now, have you been to the Small Press Expo before?
I exhibited here last year, and that's where I debuted Dark Piss.
Dark Piss, yeah.
Oh, that's right, yes.
I paneled here in 2018, and then I think the first time I tabled here must have been 2013.
Okay. So that's quite a while. You've been making zines for almost 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. And then you've come to the show for around a decade too.
Yeah, right. I graduated from the Center for Cartoon Studies, and that was my first SPX, because I didn't really know what it was before.
Yeah. It can be very overwhelming the first time at the show.
Yeah.
There's just so many people, both exhibitors and people milling about.
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle all of that?
I go back to the hotel room and sit by myself for a little bit.
That's key.
That sounds very, very serene.
But I have been really enjoying meeting everybody here. Everyone's so nice and kind, and I love SPX.
SPX loves you back.
Yes.
Awesome.
I can say that with utter confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, would you like to answer a mystery question?
Yes.
Sweet.
Let's
do it.
bring in the mystery machine of mystery questions.
Fuck yeah. Awesome.
And let's go ahead and bring in the little quarter truck, which will have the quarter that you need to unlock your mystery question.
Whoa.
It's a whole process.
Right there.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Awesome.
I was like, oh no, did it not come out? For the first time ever, one doesn't.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I don't know if that's the first time.
The mystery machine. Badass. Okay, well, let's do it.
Yeah, those things can be tough.
If you need any help, Rusty's an
Let me
expert
know.
on these
Could
after
you help me?
Yes.
a decade of doing this. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
the master was having
Okay,
trouble.
let's see what the question is.
Now, Rio, what is your mystery question?
Birthdays, blessing or burden? Blessing.
Oh,
I like that.
Your long pause there, and the work that we've seen from you being kind of dark and depressing. I was like, oh no, I think burden's coming.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want the work necessarily to be depressing.
Okay.
no.
But also, I kind of get it out of my system that way. That way I can just be happy in my regular life.
You're not the first person to describe something like that. When you do a darker work, you kind of unburden yourself of that darkness.
It's a healthy outlet.
That's what some people call it cheap therapy, drawing comics. I mean, that's not really true, but
Well, because it's expensive to publish things.
Yeah, right.
Where can people find out more about your work online?
RiaGarcia.com.
Excellent.
And
Now,
you can follow me on Instagram.
Ria, for this year at SPX, we have introduced a new element to our interviews.
Yes.
And that is the prize gallery.
Whoa.
Behind us, we have a gallery of prizes, all adorned with our heads and or faces. And you can pick any of them. We have a set of 4 coasters. We have a pot holder. We have a placemat. We have a jigsaw puzzle. We have a tea towel. We have a gigantic blanket. We have a shopping bag. And we have a keepsake box.
Wait, what was that middle thing you said?
This is a tea towel. You
A
kind of
tea
hang it
towel?
on the
like a
handle of
kitchen
your
towel,
stove.
yeah.
Oh. And then the box is like,
This is a keepsake box.
so you can put anything you want in it?
Anything you want. It's even hinged. Look at this.
Oh, badass. I want the keepsake
You
box.
want it?
Word
All
up.
right, so Ria's prize is going to be the keepsake box.
Yes.
First one
Thank
that's
you.
been chosen.
To keep
Thank
your
you
box.
so
That's
much.
so cool.
Well, thank you so much for sitting with us.
Yes, this is great.
Hey, thank you guys so much for the interview. It's
You're
been
welcome.
awesome.
Thanks. And then have a great time with the rest of the show.
Thanks, you too.
Excellent.